10 things the Quran and the Bible have in common. 1. Monotheism. Both scriptures preach the worship of a single supreme God. The Quran refers to God as Allah. The Bible uses terms like Yahweh, Elohim, and Adonai. The Quran emphasizes Allah's absolute oneness. This concept is known as Tawhid. Likewise, the Bible upholds monotheism. Here's a curious fact. The word Allah is simply the Arabic term for the God. 2. Abrahamic roots. Both Islam, Judaism, and Christianity originate from Abraham. Muslims regard him as the patriarch of Islam. Jews revere him as the father of the Hebrew nation. Christians view him as an ancestor of Jesus. Abraham's wife Hagar and son Ishmael hold high status in Islam. 3. Prophets and revelations. The Quran mentions more biblical prophets than the Bible itself. Both books share major prophetic figures. These include Abraham, Moses, and Jesus. Both view these figures as receiving divine guidance. But the Quran regards Muhammad as God's final prophet. 4. Moral. Both texts stress virtues like honesty, giving, and fairness. They prohibit immoralities like murder and deceit. The principle of reciprocity exists in both texts. However, there's a difference. Muhammad encouraged fighting unbelievers. He led military campaigns against pagans and Jews. Jesus preached nonviolence and loving enemies. 5. Dietary laws. Both Islam and the Judeo-Christian faiths have food rules. The Quran forbids pork, blood, and alcohol. Halal and kosher foods largely overlap. Kosher means ritually correct. Islamic animal slaughter norms resemble Jewish Shahita practice. 6. Concept of Satan, Iblis. The Quran and the Bible share the idea of Satan, Iblis. He is the chief source of evil, temptation, and defiance. Satan's rebellion against God is depicted in both texts. In Islam, Iblis didn't bow to Adam out of pride. 7. Belief in the afterlife. Both scriptures have the idea of an afterlife. The virtuous are rewarded and the wicked punished. The Quranic paradise resembles the biblical heaven. Hell is a realm of punishment in both faiths. 8. Sacred languages. Arabic is the holy tongue of the Quran. Hebrew, Aramaic, and Greek are the original Bible languages. The Old Testament was first written in Hebrew and Aramaic. The New Testament's original text was Greek. These original languages give direct access to the revelations. 9. Jerusalem as a holy city. Jerusalem holds sacred status for all three Abrahamic faiths. It is the third holiest city in Islam, after Mecca and Medina. Jerusalem is central to Muhammad's ascension. Gabriel carried Muhammad from Mecca to Jerusalem and on to heaven. Along the way, Muhammad spoke with past prophets. Muslims once prayed toward Jerusalem. Mecca became the new prayer direction later on. 10. Apocalypse. Both faiths have detailed stories about the world's end. Both believe in the arrival of a savior figure. For Muslims, it's the Mahdi. For Jews and Christians, it's the Messiah. This savior will rescue the faithful believers. Gog and Magog represent evil forces. These destructive forces appear in both the Quran and the Bible.